Indeed I did, mein President. The most powerful of all the Egyptian god cards is now mine. Now, mein servant, strike him down with blaze cannon! Tearing my sin! Yeah, never say die, gotta go,
Hello everybody, and welcome back to more of the Dynasty series. It's me, Cooper, and today we get to talk about one of the most forgettable German characters to show up in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. It's Franz. Franz was a card designer that worked for Pegasus for 10 years and got extremely upset one day because a big friend of ours named Chumley showed up at Pegasus's company and started making cards that Pegasus actually enjoyed. The cards Chumley would build are cards that are built around special summoning and, you know, just speeding up the deck. Franz was upset that his ideas were being ignored by Pegasus, and Pegasus straight up told Franz, well, it's because all you care about is attack points and power. If all your cards are just about making monsters stronger or summoning strong monsters, then why should I care about you? Which, funny enough, Chumley's idea is what new Yu-Gi-Oh! Becomes. Chumley's idea of cards that are all about special summoning and speeding up the deck is exactly the route that Yu-Gi-Oh! Went. So Franz was left in the dust because all he cared about was attack points. So what did Franz do? Franz went out and stole himself a Winged Dragon of Ra. And then what did he do after that? He created a card to control the Winged Dragon of Ra, a card that most of you are probably familiar with. Franz is the creator of Mound of the Bound Creator. Oh, that was redundant. Yeah, no, Franz is the one who created this card. A card that's supposed to help control the divine, and what it does is level 10 monsters and up cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. And if you destroy an opponent's monster and send it to the graveyard, you get to do 1,000 damage to that opponent. Basically, it's a field spell that makes the god cards actually good. But, you know, it actually was created back in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. A lot of people see this as a future card. No, this is a card from the past, Season 2 of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. And now I'm going to dive into what Franz's deck is like. A lot of these cards are stuff I made up. Some of them are cards he actually had in the deck. I gave him 3 Winged Dragon of Ra's. Obviously, there's only one. I gave him 3. He's got the Creator. Yeah, that's from me. And he's got the Creator Incarnate. There we go. Shining Angels are a gift from me. He's got Protector of the Sanctuary. Another gift from me. This is a very interesting card and can be extremely funny because your opponent cannot draw cards except during draw phases, which means this card destroys Cyber Jar, Morphing Jar, Pot of Greed. All of those effects get destroyed. Card destruction. It's a really funny card to have. He's got triple Ra's Disciple, which he actually did use. I gave him 3 Grave Protectors, which, you know, there you go. And he has 3 Nubian Guards, which he actually did use. He's got the basic spell cards. I gave him the True Name. The True Name is a divine monster searching card from back in the day. He has Diffusion, which he used on Jaden. He's got MSTs. He's got Mound of the Brown Creator, because he made this card. This is the card he made special. He actually drew the card and made it into reality, so I'm obviously going to give him 3. He actually did have Ultimate Offering, therefore he gets 3. He's got Call the Haunted, and he's got Magic Jammer. So his deck is very interesting. I think it's extremely scary to look at. But the Winged Dragon of Ra is one of the riskiest cards to run. Obviously, with Mound the Brown Creator, it's actually a very effective monster. But because the Winged Dragon of Ra costs you all of your life points, it's kind of scary. Like, honestly, it's kind of a scary card to use. So, let's go ahead and move on to the stats of Franz. Franz's stats are extremely high in very many areas, and let me tell you why. So, when it comes to Franz, his attack stat is almost perfection. It is so close to being there, because most of his monsters are ass in attack. I had to tear it down. But the Winged Dragon of Ra could technically be one of the strongest, if not the strongest monster in the game. As long as you have cards to heal yourself, you could become the strongest person ever. Franz doesn't do that. So at best, with Ultimate Offering or Ra's Disciple, he could have 7,900 attack points. A monster like that will not be seen by anybody else except Zane Truesdale. So, the Winged Dragon of Ra could go up to 7,900 attack, and that's incredible. Plus, he's got Mound of the Bound Creator to protect his Winged Dragon of Ra and give it extra effects, which is even better. Plus, if someone destroys Mound of the Bound Creator, you get to search out the Winged Dragon of Ra. So yeah, his attack stat is only skewed so high up because of the God card. If it wasn't for this Egyptian God, I would not give him very good attack stat. Moving on to his speed stat, mostly because of me, his speed stat is really good because he's got double the Creator. Creator's for special summoning. The Creator Incarnates does have a special summoning effect for the Creator. Shining Angels all special summon. This is more of anti-speed for your opponent. Raw's Disciple special summon, and that's really good. Grave Squirmer, not so much. Nubian Guard, if this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent's life points, you can return one continuous spell card from your graveyard to the top of your deck. I don't even think he runs a continuous spell card. Like, maybe... No, that was a field spell. Yeah, I don't think he runs a continuous spell card, funny enough. He just had Nubian Guard in the show. Let's see. True name, that is technically Search, so there you go. Defusion's anti-speed, or actually is speed in a way. Mound the Bound Creator, no. Ultimate Offering is speed. So yeah, he has a lot of speed. There are a lot of cards in here, called Hanes too. There are a lot of cards in here that speed up Franz's deck and makes him very, very good. Now, moving on to his skill stat, he actually does have a little bit, but not too much skill. The skill stat comes from Mound the Bound Creator and its burn effect, and it comes from the Winged Dragon of Ra and its ability to stall with Mound the Bound Creator. Because if you put Ra in defense mode, wait, does it increase defense as well, or is it just attack? Yeah, it's defense as well. If you put Ra in defense mode with Mound the Bound Creator, you could probably deck out your opponent. I'm not gonna lie, you could just do that. If you don't find, if your opponent is too hard to defeat, just use this and this. You'll have 7,900 defense. Don't go aggressive. Don't fall for any traps. You just stay in defense mode until your opponent runs out of cards. And with Protector of the Sanctuary, this could also be seen as a skill card because it's anti-draw for your opponent, which means you could do some pretty funny effects with it. Sadly, this deck is not built around it, but it still has the ability to stop Pot of Greed and stuff. And, you know, to backfire Cyber Jars or backfire Morphing Jars. So it's pretty funny. And it's just a really good defense monster, which is the next stat we're getting into. Defense stat. This guy has really good defense. Creator, 3,000. Winged Dragon of Ra, obviously amazing. The Creator Incarnate, 15, whatever. That's fine. Shining Angel, whatever. Protector of the Sanctuary is at 1,900 defense. That's very good. Raw's Disciple sucks. Great Squirmer's at 2. Our Great Protector's at 2,000. That's really good. And Nubian Guards suck. Overall, an amazing defense stat from Franz. Franz's defense stat is insanely good. He is a terrifying character when it comes to that. His attack and defense, his attack is skewed because of Ra. His defense is not. Because most people won't use Ra for defense anyway. But the Creator, everyone, the Protector of the Sanctuary and the Grave Protector, all of that stuff skews his defense stat really high. Moving on to his luck stat. Funny enough, this guy does have a lot of luck behind him because the luck stat will be affected by the true name. The true name is about declaring one card from the top of your deck, and if it's the card you declare, you get to add it to your hand, which means it's a guessing card. So the fact that he runs triple luck-based cards and Protector of the Sanctuary can be considered luck as well because it can backfire on your opponent. So mostly it's not, like luck is skewed really high for people that actually have it. Simply because, you know, it's very rare in this series. Almost that luck stat is almost always ignored. But this is a deck that actually uses luck. And the luck stat could really come in handy. Therefore, it's a deck that does have a lot of luck behind it. But moving into the brick stat, it's only average. The brick stat is average. Ra is a brick. Creator is a brick. Unless you have the proper combos. Let's see. Everyone else is not a brick. Let's see. The Mound the Bound Creator, the first one is not a brick. True Name, they're technically luck-based cards, so I don't think I can count them as bricks, but you got to be careful. Defusion is 100% a brick. I mean, it might come in handy, but it's pretty much a brick. Ultimate Offerings, you really only need one. Once you draw one, if you draw another, it's a brick. And everything else is fine. So yeah, he's not very bricky. He's very average when it comes to bricking. It might happen. You might brick because you are running a God card and Creator. But overall, I think Franz's deck is pretty damn effective. I just find it really funny that the only reason he's in the show is because they wanted to show the God card off again, and because they're just like, hey, Chumley's new job is going so well that he pissed off another person he was working with to a point where he was willing to enter the GX tournament just to defeat freaking Jaden, or defeat anybody, and show Pegasus how powerful his card designing skills are, which they are powerful. He created a card that could control the gods, and the fact that the freaking guy, Pegasus, isn't like, wow, you did that. You created a card that literally controls god cards. That's busted. But no, Pegasus just like, I'm going to give you another chance, Franz, don't you worry. But stop making these powerful cards, they're stupid. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. I want to thank you all for watching. Looking at Franz, I'm going to have to say deck potential for this series with those kind of stats and these kind of strategies, I will say Franz is a tournament contender. And but he has his weakness where it is kind of bricky, and the Winged Dragon of Ra can extremely backfire. It is a card that can backfire super easily, especially if your opponent runs even a little bit of burn. If they have one single burn card, you could just straight up lose. So, overall, I'm going to give Franz a 3.5 stars. This guy can win the tournament, has a good chance of winning the tournament. Honestly, he's like a top 4 competitor, top 8 minimum, but you got to be careful when you use the deck. If you really like Winged Dragon of Ra, I recommend you use this deck, but plan your Winged Dragon of Ra summon, because if you summon it too early and you fall for a spell or trap that does burn, you die. You need to summon Ra when you know you could just one-shot the opponent. But Mound the Mound Creator will protect your Ra from destruction, so you don't need to worry about that. Either way, I want to thank you all for watching. If you're enjoying this series, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.